Hi everyone. Hi Dalip. Okay, we'll just wait for a couple of minutes. Welcome all. Hi Brajesh. Hi Sunil. Hi Smesh. Welcome all to the CFO India from Wharton Executive Education, the program webinar. Hi Swaminathan. We'll just wait for a couple more minutes until everyone joins and then we'll start. In the meanwhile, for the folks who've joined, if you can, I believe the chat option is open. If you can type in your name and maybe your country and the background that you come from. Just a brief one-liner would be enough. That'll be nice to get started while we wait. Gaurav. We'll wait for a minute more and then we can start. Hi, Manish. Hi, Kishore. All right, I think we can start. So once again, welcome everyone to the Wharton Executive Education's CFO India pre-program webinar, right? I will quickly run you through the agenda of the program and then we'll start with that. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So the agenda, as you can see, is where we'll be starting with the overview, taking you through some of the highlights, and then we'll also have a focus section on Q&A towards the end, where hopefully we'll cover everything that you already need to know. But in case you do have anything, the Q&A section is always open throughout the entire call, so we'll take it from there. And in terms of the program overview, I believe most of you already know, and you can see in my screen as well. The program starts on the 18th of September. That's when you'll have your first orientation. And you have a 6 months journey, both interspersed with live plus online sessions as well as in-person immersions, right? And the program fee is 9,15,000 plus GST, and the eligibility is, as you can see, right? And about Wharton, I'm sure I do not need to introduce more. Wharton is ranked number one globally in terms of finance and is an Ivy League school and has a history of over 120 plus years, right? So Wharton is bringing this program especially to the India CFO audience, right? And lastly, and most importantly, we have Dev Tripathi with us, who will be leading the call for us, who will be there to answer your questions. He is the CFO for the India Subcontinent at Philips. And again, over to you, Dev, if you can briefly lead in. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Suresh, to kickstart, and welcome and good afternoon to everyone. I would prefer that, I'll request if all of you can switch on your cameras, and so that at least we'll be make it as a good conversation, good engagement. At the end of the day, we all are professionals here. It's not one way. It is in I would like to learn from you while in the entire session today. I would like to understand more from you. So more Q&As, more chatting, raise your hands. That will make it more effective and engaging. Looking forward to it. Coming back to me is brief introduction about myself. Hi, I'm Dev Tripathi. I head the finance, or I'm the CFO for Philips India Subcontinent. I also had one of the category called image guided therapy for Philips, for a larger region that we call it as a growth region, which includes 6 zones. It is the simple way is that, okay, it is the geography, the world minus US, China, and Europe. The rest everything is actually, I also take it. So with Philips for 17 years, 17 plus years, and prior to Philips, I've also worked with organizations like Tata Steel and Associated British Food. Uh, I come from a place called Odisha. I think you maybe people from India may be knowing. It's a state in the eastern part of the country. I come from the western part of that eastern state of India. Um, I've done my school and everything, in East, and then I did my chartered accountancy. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. Um, so I was a bit under the weather a few days back, so please bear with me. Um, I'll try to be as loud and clear as possible, and please feel free to stop me if you feel sometimes I'm not making sense or you're not able to hear me. So coming back to my educational qualification side, I have done my schooling and everything from Odisha, and my CA from Calcutta. From my professional journey, if I started with Tata Steel, and various organizations. What I mentioned, so I always look for a diversity, to learn more, starting from steel, port operation, logistics, to food and bakery ingredients. That's a different industry. And then third company where I worked, I got an opportunity to learn about FMCG, FMCD, uh, electrical electronics, and then healthcare, which is, I think, most of you today, that, okay, that is the emerging sector and known most sorted sector today. So that's the brief introduction of mine. I'm based out of currently Gurgaon, at the north of India. Yeah. So I'll be your co-pilot for the entire journey. So all the participants who are going to join this course, I'll be your co-pilot for rest of the sessions. So I would be love to help you, in this journey, um, and looking forward. If you can go to the next slide, Suresh. Yeah. So Suresh, here onward, I can take it, right? Yep. So I would look forward that if I think all of us in India look forward to grow. So very recently, I was with a Japanese bank. We had a breakfast session with 6 of the CEOs and CFOs as recent as 3 days back, in Gurgaon, and the Japanese leader of the bank asked one question, saying that what how do you define India, how do you define the culture, what drives India, and had one, and this is my repeated question, so people who have heard me in the past also may be sorry for I'm repeating, but I always feel that when you say about India and what is the culture of the young generation and the generation today, I always, one picture which comes to my mind, That is a tuk-tuk, or we call it as auto. A auto which stands on three legs, three wheels, but it always carries, most of the times if you'll see an auto rickshaw or a tuk-tuk, it has a 4x4 sticker on it. So that exactly defines India, that everybody wants to do well. Though the vehicle is standing on three legs, it has an aspiration to be a 4x4 wheel drive. Okay, and that's exactly represents all of us. We all have, I think most of us would have come from a middle class family or a good well established family, but we none of us has stopped aspiring for a bigger journey, a bigger role, a bigger responsibility, a larger name. So every son wants to do better than their parents. And when I shared this one to the leader, Japanese leader, there was another gentleman from BMW. He was the CEO for BMW. Very recently, he came from Germany, and he stepped in and said that that's exactly what I learned. That okay, if people takes one step ahead to do something good or to enhance their career. So in Germany, the gentleman mentioned that okay, we hesitate to go beyond 20 kilometers of our house. Here, actually, people feel that okay, whenever we plan to do something outside India, people from here aspire to take that additional responsibility when they don't know anything about the geography, that role, that challenges in those roles, nothing but they step forward. So keeping that in mind, I'd like that okay, when we start our conversation, why don't you start sharing that what is there in your mind when you are really evaluating that whether I should take up a course which will enhance my career. Um, if you can know, there are few questions here, few probable answers that okay, what may drive you to choose or evaluate a such type of courses. But it's not about these five options. You can have 10, 20, whatever options you have. If you can just put it in the chat box, that will really help. And Suresh, if you can help me with if some.
Yes, for sure. The chat is open for everyone. So if some of you can again highlight what your primary goal is, that should be open for everyone.
And in the meantime, all of you can just help me by raising a hand or raising a thumbs up, saying that okay, the audio and video, everything is clear. You can hear me.
Okay. Great.
Wow, there is some gentleman from yeah. So Raman says that okay, he is from internal audit, investigation professional, would like to expand my learning for larger role. Absolutely. And I really I sometimes envy Raman, people from internal audit in a large organization, because the amount of the visibility what you get across the organization. So my friends in internal audit, they get a visibility of marketing. Sometimes they do an audit of supply chain, innovation, R&D, no, everything. Markets, finance. Finance is one of the things. So it's a great exposure to have. C-suite, yes, we will discuss about Dilip. Great. So yeah, so
Yep.
more people
We'll
have.
wait for a minute more and then, yep.
Yeah, sure. So thanks, Swami.
Okay.
So Mr. Senapati, when Wipro also comes from the state where I belong to.
Mhm.
So that way, if you see, as we grow up, you'll see this world is small, and one of the most critical skill set which we all need to get, also we will discuss. I think let's make it more a conversation, more like a conversation. It's I'm not a teacher. Okay, I'm not a teacher by profession. I would love to be if I succeed, but no, maybe later in my career. But I'm not a teacher, so it really helps me when we make it two ways. Uh, and I really goof up when it is monologue.
I believe we've got a few
Great.
statements from Brajesh and Gaurav as
Mm,
well.
Rajesh, Gaurav Panda.
Me looking forward.
Yes.
All right.
Value creation, knowledge expansion, C-suite, larger roles. These are broadly the expectations we all have. Um, now, uh, Suresh has already mentioned about a few things that what Wharton stands for and how the team here is actually enable or helping you to reach or unlock that potential of the Wharton, such an Ivy League, such a well-known Ivy League university. So keeping the aspirations what we all shared here very transparently, and really appreciate this transparency, and we should keep continuing this transparency among all of us, because we are here to help each other. When I say help each other, you are also going to help me, not only yourself. And so is the commitment from my side. Uh, so for whom these programs are, the the way you explained your aspiration, it's exactly for all those professionals who wants to do better, wants to grow in their career and profession. It is for them. So anybody who is doing one role, see, let me tell you that anybody who wants to grow, it's not, it's a pyramid. At the end of the day, it is a pyramid. When we all get qualified, we are at the base where many thousands of professionals like us will be there, and there is, I think, we all get into a good role, good responsibility, good job, good organization through a competition, and you feel that okay, that was a tough competition. But I must tell you, as you grow up in your career, there is only one CFO in one company, there is only one CEO in one organization. So you need to really assume that, or really, be assured that it will be cutthroat competition as you move up. So the only good thing is that how you sharpen your saw, and we'll come back to that after a minute. But all the people who are aspiring to grow up in their career, who are currently managers, senior managers, in any role in finance or around finance, all of it, it is the best role to be in. Very nicely curated, and I was really appreciating the team a couple of days back when I really went through in details. It was really appreciated the way it was been created. So any MNC, any Indian company, any organization where, like Swami mentioned, that somebody is in internal audit, wants to be in the controllership, or somebody mentioned already that he or she is in the controllership thing, how you become a business partner, somebody in the business partner, and how do you become an accounting and reporting controller, an FP&A controller, or after you do everything at a mid-level role, how you go target and really put your hat in the ring and say that okay, I am the next person, eligible person, or I whether I am in the succession pipeline for the CFO role. And I must tell you, it's my assessment, and it is same as the industry assessment. Most of the CFOs are the strong candidates for the CEO role. Let me repeat again. Most of the CEOs, CFOs today are threatening or in the succession pipeline of the CEO role. And you know, okay, I'm not in the race now. I really enjoy my role in Philips today. But in my 2.5, 3 years in the helm of affairs in the CFO role, after 6 months I became the CFO. I got the ask, or I've been asked to double hat for the CEO role. You know why? It's because the the previous CEO he took a larger global responsibility and he moved there. And we thought that, okay, we have somebody who can really manage and will take our chance to really scout around and will find out the right person, because we are in a difficult industry. Okay, somebody who really fits into our industry, understands our culture, understands everything nuances of our business, and that's why we took chance. So I double hatted for 8 to 9 months, and that year we also did well. The organization never compromised in terms of performance. So all of you who are aspiring to be a good CFO, be prepared. The journey doesn't stop with a CFO. It may lead to a CEO for all of you. And I look forward to see many of you in that CXO roles in the corner office going forward. And the world is small. We will catch up sometimes face to face soon. So the minimum criteria what we have kept for this role is 10 years, and that is for a purpose. That is for a purpose because it is not going to be, the content of this course is not for somebody, and it's not somebody who is below 10 years. It's for them actually who has matured, who has seen the challenge, the industry problem statements, who understands that, okay, what is required to go there. Okay, and they have realized that, okay, I need to work in these 3 4 5 areas, and that's where it has been mentioned that, okay, it is 10 years. Okay, yeah. So before we go to the next slide, if I can ask everyone, have you gone through, you know, are you aware of Mr. Covey? Uh, he has written a wonderful book around 7 habits of highly efficient, effective people. Can you raise your hands if anybody knows about it, or no? Yeah. So yeah, Kaushik, so Sumesh says that, okay, he is aware. Good. So if you can just mention, he has mentioned 7 habits. Can you mention that, okay, what are few of these 7 habits what he has highlighted quickly, not in any specific order? Yes, Stephen Covey. Yes. Yeah. So 7 habits. The first one is that be proactive. And when we say that be proactive, it is about take charge of your career, take charge of your decisions, take charge of your decisions, and don't be a victim of what's happening around. Okay, so that is one. And don't be reactive, be proactive. What's next? Begin with the end in mind. Very good. Begin with end in mind. And what does it mean? Put 2 dots, and that's my favorite. I always say that, okay, start your point of arrival and point of destination, and just draw that line. That's the ideal one. It is a straight line. So today where I am and where I want to be, that's my point of destination. This is my point of arrival. If you draw a straight line, that's the most desirable, idealistic, but it doesn't happen like that. We always go zigzag, zigzag. Sometimes it is a curve, and sometimes it is like you go down and go up, and then you come to that road. Okay, and the last one, if you see, there are many things like, okay, first thing first, then uh, try to, seek to understand before to then to be understood. So how patiently you will listen. And the last one, which really excites me, is sharpen the saw. Okay, that's why I said that, okay, we'll come back after a minute. So when I was saying that, okay, keep start begin with the end in mind, is that, okay, you draw your destination, that, okay, I want to be a controller, I want to be a CFO, I want to be a CEO. And then you say that, okay, what are the skill sets required, what are the knowledges I require to there, and map it. Okay, and then put a timeline behind that one, and keep a mentor. And it can be reverse mentoring also, that, okay, you keep somebody who is junior to you, can be in marketing, can be in sales, can be in finance, maybe your team member, maybe your friend, and say that, okay, I'm really doing these things. And can you please monitor how am I progressing against this one? Okay. So those are the things which really makes that, okay, starting with an end in your mind. Let's go to the next slide. Sorry, I'm taking more time, Suresh, and please feel free to stop me.
No, no, it's been very insightful. Dave, you can continue. I'll go to the next slide. Meanwhile, yep.
Yeah. So about this program, so you all know about go-to-market, GTM. We most of us we call it as GTM, right? So you have a wonderful product or a service. Now there is a customer, there is a target group who are who can be a youngster, can be a professional, can be a farmer, can be housewife, can be a cook. Anybody can be a customer for any of the businesses. Correct? We deal with FMCG. The world is the customer. Now, what we say, our idea, our innovation, our products has to reach to those customers, and then there is a go-to market. The go-to market for many people is okay. The examples are e-commerce, quick commerce, traditional trade, like we say that through dealers and retailers, we reach out to them. In our course, how we say that okay, it is a blended one because we are looking for working professionals and the professional who are engaged today. If you are a businessman also, doing your continuing your business, then also it is a no. None of you have time to really take 6 months break or 4 months break and come forward and participate here because most of us are also the earning member of the family. So it's a blended journey. It's a hybrid and blended learning journey. Uh, the best part is that the educators or the trainers or the people who are going to the professors involved are coming from the Ivy League university. You see, I have worked with many of the professors, institutes, very well-known institutes, and the one good part is that whenever you get an opportunity, I always feel that go to the largest organization, the oldest organization. And why is it? There is no such bias. I must tell you, there is no such bias. The organization which has started, the institute which has started last year or last month also can be the amazing one. But these are experiential learnings. Somebody who is going to share their experience, what has worked. It is not about when we started our mathematics in childhood that it is not a 2 plus 2 is 4. It is about what has worked and what great ideas have failed and why it has failed. So now you imagine that when you have an Ivy League professors with you, they will bring their experience about across the world. And that's what I feel that given any chance, look for the largest organizations around. And that's why I really appreciate about this course is that the team is connect the Emeritus team is connecting you to an Ivy League college. And now the world, I'll tell you another thing, another aspect is that India is fast growing and emerging as an country, as an economy. We are not at the top. There's the top. There are many developed countries are there. There are many who are in the mid. We are fast claiming towards that one. For example, if China, we say that okay, and please, these are examples. Please don't take it otherwise. If we consider China is 10 years ahead of us, so now China would have gone through the similar challenges what we are facing today. Or if US is 30 years or 15 years, 20 years ahead of us, Europe is 30 years ahead of us, they would have also gone through those challenges which you are facing today. Regulatory challenges are efficiency of people, the knowledge base, the talent pipeline, the connectivity across the industry, the infrastructure. They would have gone through this thing. So now somebody who comes from their side, they can really share that okay, what happened there and what are problems they have seen, uh, and how to solve them. See, how to solve, the solutions are not written. It is not written on the stone. But somebody who tells you that okay, something like this worked 15 years back, something like this worked no in China 30 years back, and these are the initiatives they took and that worked and that didn't work and this failed, that failed. This is the mistake which we feel that okay, they have done. That gives you a horizon of knowledge to you. And that's why I feel that when you learn from a larger most experienced who have seen a larger geography, that helps. And when I say that okay, China is 10 years, Europe is 20, 30 years ahead, never assume that India will take 10 years to reach to China. They may take 5 years, 3 years to reach there because the tools which we have today, it may not be there 10 years before. So they might have taken a long route to reach there to their point of destination from their point of arrival, we may take faster because you have a AI, you have a machine learning, you have much more ecosystem. The other things which is really good about this program is that we have while it is an hybrid and blended one, we have also immersion programs where you have a touch and feel, like you can really interact with those professors who are Ivy League professors. You have a team which is really experienced, who are really wants to create the maximum impact with you. Their success lies the impact with the impact what they can create for you, and on demand learning. So there will be course material which will be provided to you, and it is videos, there will be case studies. And if you go to the next slide, Suresh, uh, peer-to-peer learning, networking, case studies. This is one of the best, which I'll tell you, which being a chartered accountant, I really feel that okay, given a chance, uh, one thing the institute could have done and should be doing going forward is to bring more and more case studies and ask people to solve that. Because as you step into a larger roles and responsibilities, there are two skill sets. There are many skill sets, but top two things which people will expect you to do. One, get things done. Nobody has the patience, nobody has the resources to really see how you are doing every day, every minute. Our parents have done it, and that's the last set of people who have invested so much of time. So the only first skill set is that get things done. That is the first. The second is that problem solving. How you solve a problem which you have not seen previous day, last week, last month, last quarter, last year, last decade. Those problems, and those problems will come to you because you are faster speed, with a high speed we are going towards a growth and profitably sustainable growth and a larger economy. So every time we'll come across a problem which you'll be solving. So these are the two skill sets. Keep in your mind that everybody in your C-suite role aspiration would like you to deliver every day. So that's where you need to know the real world case studies, and the best one and the last one, which is like the alumni status on the peer-to-peer network. So networking is something which they will give an access to you, but the only good thing is that how do you leverage, that is up to you. How do you really excite the peers there here or the network of Wharton University? That's up to you. So for that, you need to have a good content that you excites everyone. We'll go to the next slide. And I think more or less we have touched
You've covered this, yes.
but I'll tell you what helps you to be a great CFO. Okay, if you can just think what helps you to a great CFO, there are many things. Okay, one thing is that the traditional versus the new days. The traditional one, we used to say that okay, budgeting, forecasting, risk mitigation, whereas the new guys expect, the new CFOs or the new CXO roles, the expectation from all of you will be that you are going to be a board advisor. Okay, you have to be a strategist, you have to drive innovation. Okay, so these are the new expectation from the CFO roles. The somebody once you step into the CFO role, you need to be you need to really formulate a distinctive vision for your role going forward. So now you know that okay, what is required there. Okay, uh, so CFO roles are no more expected to be to sit around the desk and like when I joined, I thought that okay, finance was, everybody used to come towards finance. So now you have to really reach out. Okay, the CFOs are not that okay, you have a 30 people, 50 people role. Slowly and gradually you will see that okay, there's very smart, very few people are going to report and work with you. One more role is that okay, where people will expect you Miss or Mr. No, who can really have the courage to say a no. Okay, It may be easier to say yes most of the times, but you have to say no
Mhm.
many times, and that's something which you have to learn. Somebody who really can connect and link between the business drivers, the industry dynamics, and the organization dynamics, and say that, okay, how all these things I can converse to a CFO role. Capital structuring, IPO, the most buzzword today. When I say capital structuring, like you have to make sure that, okay, how effectively that your capital is there, whether it is capital, working capital, how are you going to engage your resources? Because resources is never going to be unlimited. It is always going to be scarce for you. And no, the best thing is that how to network, okay, because you need to have sponsors with you. You need to have sponsors with you in the organization. So keeping all these things in mind, no, you need that. What are the no? How do you sharpen your saw? What I mentioned, the Stephen Covey's 7 habits, is that you have to be transformative. Okay, you need to be on top of that. Okay, how do you influence in the organization? You need to be strategic, and one thing which you cannot ignore today is that you need to be tech savvy. When you say tech savvy, technology is not going to replace you, but somebody who is more tech savvy than you may give a thought, no, cutthroat competition to you. And that's why AI is something which is like it is the accounting debit and credit for you going forward. So you need to know AI, and it is not only AI, it is the larger fintech and the larger ecosystem. How you know how you leverage them. That's what you should know. Um, you should know about the global growth strategies and leveraging the platforms, and these are the few outcomes which the course is going to really help you come up with. Okay, and we'll go further deep dive, and we'll see that there are six pillars. uh, so 6 pillars, and out of the 6 pillars, each pillar has modules. So the first pillar, as you see here, and will not cover in details, but the first two pillars is all about leveraging data, data technology, AI. So first one you saw, and this is the second one, where you see that the first one, if you go back, Suresh, yeah, the leveraging about data technology, and you all know that, okay, data is the new oil, and that's why many one of the largest organization, largest corporate in India, you see that from oil they have reversed their name also in the new format, and you know that, okay, which company I'm referring to, the largest company in this country. So data is the new oil. So somebody, a CFO, need to know about data, needs to know how do I use the data, how do I need to make judgments and informative data not together. And I say that, okay, I create the strategy. So CFOs are not going to the executors only. They have their voice is heard. Most of the places, the strategy reports to the CFO. So do in Philips, the strategy teams reports to the CFO. Now, strategy team, they comes with go-to-market, product launch, the needs of the market, and you know that, okay, you need to be on top of your data. Which data I should play? So the frameworks, and AI transformation initiatives, data-driven process and value creation. Value creation is something which is your shadow. It's never going to leave you. You are there, you are going to survive only when you create the value. It's exactly like cycling. You all know cycling, I believe. So cycling is the best thing is that you you stop paddling and you fall. So so it's exactly like more, till you create a value, you are staying relevant and you will be on top of your road. Go to the next slide, Suresh. The second pillar is also about, the digital era. As I said that, okay, how do you leverage the platforms? There are fintech platforms, there are AI platforms, uh, and no, because you are going to be, and who somebody who really understands the roles, the functions well in an organization, the resources, the strengths and the weaknesses of the function, and how do we play with all those to win and deliver the organization goal. So that's about the second pillar. If we'll go to the third one, Yes, here most of you will feel happy. Yes, this is something which we know most of the finance professionals have done it in the past, but it will be an enhanced level where we'll be seeing that the investment decisions, how optimally we are structured, uh, how much equity we should have, how where we should go for no where we should look for M&A, organic growth, inorganic acquisitions, what is the most effective one, and the buzzword today, as I said, that look, everybody wants to go for IPO. So we will also would like to tell you about the going public. The best part is that you'll be learning the IPO journey from the Wharton professors, and later, so you'll get a global knowledge, and later I'll just keep some suspense here, and later it's something which is very much which is hands-on. So if we'll go to the next one, pillar 4, yes, it is about C-suit. I think Brajesh or Swami, somebody mentioned that okay, you really aspire to be in the C-suit, and here is that how once you reach there, it's not easy also to survive there. So how do you architect the strategies around when you are reaching there? Uh, how do you move the decision, the prioritize, the speed you bring in there, and putting the entire strategy to work? So this is a playbook which is covered under pillar 4, and pillar 5 is something which is today, where we are living today, is the VUCA world, most uncertain. You really don't know who is going to fight against whom tomorrow, who will be the friend tomorrow, who is a foe today. So this is the world where we're going to live. We will help you with some arms and ammunitions, not to fight, but how to navigate through these challenges. Um, risk mitigations, financial risk, identifying risks, navigate the macroeconomics and the microeconomics. I'll tell you every quarter when I meet my board, 2 quarters before, chairman asked me, Dev, you need to update me, and it has to be a standard slide where you have to highlight the risk mitigation of the organization. So I bucket my risk in 5 to 6 categories. One of them is that financial risk. One of them is any risk which is help or no, which is going to be impacting my strategy execution, my compliance, or regulatory risk, IT risk, okay, supply chain risk. Okay, so this is how I bucket my risk in 5 to 6 categories, and in an organization where the supply chain is completely scattered across the world. So this is how the ask going to be from the board members, and we will help you, in this course that with the CFO compass, where it helps. And for us, okay, you all know that okay, what it plays a role. Going to the next one. Sorry, I think I'm taking more time. These are like Suresh. Unfortunately, these are my passion areas. So no, I take bit more time here. Uh,
Mm.
Governance, ESG. It is your. This is something the CFO has to live with. Nobody in the organization comes forward. This is something I'll tell you, and please don't share me outside. The CEO's degree is not at risk because of his role, but a CFO, CFO's all the degree, the professional degrees, the entire career is actually associated with your governance, compliance, and everything. So you need to be on top of that, the compliance controls. This is actually, it is a showstopper going forward. So we are also going to touch base on that, how are you doing, how are you going to manage the governance, ESG, strategic influence. And I think here, I think we have more or less disclosed some surprises which you are going to share later, but SEBI's ESG guidelines. So it's not about that. The Wharton professionals are going to share about the world and the larger global stuff to you, the diversity, equity, inclusiveness goals, the ESG goals, everything, which is a much larger and much enriched one. um, and going forward, the next slide. pillars. Yeah. So this is the pillar 6, and the most best one. Yes, this is one which I was telling that why it is a blended one. Go to the next slide, Suresh. So this is what is the excitement with a larger global canvas. You're going to also see something which is very much Indianized, that what are the toolkits for going to public, the framework for AI, the framework for risk management for forex, and the succession pipeline. It is not about only the domain expertise, but the soft expertise also will be touch based in this program. And all these are Indianized because SEBI, I I don't expect that a Wharton professional, educator can really understand that what is there in India, so what's going to be in India. But I'll tell you that you'll be surprised when you'll see the larger global picture and you see the Indian picture. You will see that okay, where are the gaps and where we need the Indian regulators need to improve or bridge the gaps, and where are the pitfalls that at least you will can correlate, and that is what really helps you. Yeah. Go next, Suresh. And this is something which I said that okay, I envy with most of the MBAs, and the marketeers when I connect with them. They get to see all these things very early in their career, and we get through when we get into when somebody puts us in the water to swim. And these are some amazing case studies, and few examples are like this, but there will be many more where it will be explained to you through the real industry examples. And now one of the examples you see is Delta. Delta Airlines, one of the largest airlines of the world, what difficult days they have gone through during the COVID-19. When they have over 600 aircrafts, and they had to, put down or ground almost 50% of them, the fleet size. What all they did everything which were difficult for them. They were actually burning cash every day, every week, and they took some difficult decisions like the retirement of few older staffs, few people who were not the most efficient and effective in their roles. No, they really took such difficult decisions, including operational decisions, which helped them to survive, and not just survive. They really become a case study. Around 17,000 plus employees, they went for a early retirement. They really worked on their leave encashment, leave balances. Um, then they really choose that okay, which are the most effective routes to continue, which are not so difficult. So portfolio curtail, normally in our industry we say that oh, we love this product, but if it is not very strategic, not long-term strategy, fitting to the long-term strategy, or not solving our purpose, then maybe that okay, we need to take some difficult decisions. And no, one of the things is that you see that okay, today when see Philips, we are out of lighting, which we started 130 years back. Philips started, and Philips is known for incandescent light, and we had to part ways with lighting. I actually joined Philips in lighting, and we parted ways with lighting. But those are strategic decisions which are good, bad, but these are always going to be difficult. Okay, whether it is successful, not successful, time only says. But difficult decisions to take. But how you take those decisions, those are like you have to be equipped with. And these are this course is certainly going to help you learn about them. What next, Suresh? No. Yep. And Suresh, please chime in, wherever
Yeah.
you feel.
Sure, sure. I mean, this is something I believe Dave was also briefly covered, and I covered in the introduction where I mentioned it's interspersed with online self-paced learning, with live online sessions with the faculty, master classes with industry leaders, and success coach sessions with Mr. Dave, and of course the in-person immersion spread across 5 days offline, where you'll get to interact with the Wharton faculty. You'll be flying all the way from the US, right? So that is one of the key highlights, I would say, where you get to interact with them, learn from them, and build and learn as a Wharton learning classroom experience, because these will not be just meet and greet sessions. You'll get to learn from full-time faculties at Wharton who've been training CXOs and executive MBA programs at the campus. So that is one of the key highlights. And of course, the master classes, like I mentioned, where they've mentioned there is the SEBI's ESG guidelines and toolkit for taking your company public and forex risk. All of these are from leaders who've been there and done that, right? So these master classes will also be effective. So it's a healthy combination of majorly your faculty sessions from Wharton, along with industry leaders like Dave and other master classes, which will bring you the experiential and uh, your industry-based learning. So that's the learning journey, and this is the pictorial roadmap for that, right? So I'll move to the next slide. It's again, as you must have seen in the brochure as well, this is the digital certificate that you'll be getting at the end of the program. You can also have a look at that in detail in the brochure as well. And this will also give you additional benefits in terms of additional tuition assistance in doing future programs with Wharton Executive Education, right? And
So one
again,
more thing, if I
lastly,
can add
yeah,
here, Suresh, in the previous
yes,
one,
yes,
see, we all have some, certain qualifications with us, some degrees with us, and a Wharton certificates or any good university certificate always helps, or our existing qualification where it has helped. It actually you claim a seat on the table. Okay, it and the larger, the stronger the certificates and the qualification we have, we can really claim a bigger seat on the table. But the sustaining there in the position actually is your knowledge, wisdom, how do you practice, how do you work. But the entry to any position is always supported by your degrees. Okay, you cannot ignore them, right? Yeah, over to you, Suresh.
yeah, no worries. So lastly, again, we move on to Emeritus. Most of you have done programs with us. Emeritus, as you know, is ranked number one according to Time Magazine 2024's Global Tech Firms, right? So we collaborate with the top universities exclusively to offer working executive programs, and we have presence across 80 plus countries. And we are headquartered in Singapore, but we have presence across different geographies and continents. So this has been our track record in brief, right? And application process again is since this is a Wharton Executive Education program, we do have a selection process involved, right? Where your application would be vetted basis your resume, your LinkedIn, and your documents that you'll be submitting. Post which the admission committee will be reviewing that, and then once you're shortlisted, you'll be receiving an acceptance, and post which you can complete your enrollment. Right. So that's regarding the application. It's pretty straightforward. We only require your application to come through. And again, that brings us to one of the most awaited, but also towards the end of the session, which is the Q&A, right? Where either Dave or I will be trying to help you out with any questions that you have on the program, the offering, your expectations. So the Q&A section should be open now. So you can head on to the Q&A section and ask any questions that you have. We'll hold some time. We still have 6 minutes for the call to end, so we'll be taking in
Yeah,
questions.
see,
Yeah.
because uh, see, every time, and it is in our organization also, one of the thing is that have the courage, to ask questions, and somebody who asks the right questions, you never know where it opens up. Yeah. Mr. Pai, Ranjan Pai is so sorry. Mr. Pai, who became the CFO for Infosys, also got there because he asked the right questions to to the Infosys founder, and that's how he got his position into Infosys as a CFO also. So you never know, asking the right questions, and always the right questions in your boardroom also leads to the solution. See, solutions are easy, identifying the problem statement is the most difficult one. So, and what helps is that, okay, when you say why and what and how come we reach there, so those questions really helps to reach to the problem statement, to understand the problem or split the problem statements and reach to the solution. So never hesitate to ask questions. A question is always good. Never think that somebody will judge you from that questions. We have all gone through those misnomers, you can say, but always feel free to, don't never hesitate to ask the question. What will happen? Somebody will answer it or somebody will skip. Difficult question, I'll skip. So, hey.
I guess Dave, you've taken a very detailed session. I believe this is one of the most, you could say, insightful webinars that we've had. And again, you've took your time in taking care of all, you could say, assumpted questions that we might get. So we'll wait for a couple more minutes and
Yep,
then, yeah.
sure, sure.
You have the Q&A section that you can ask questions from. That should be open now.
But it was
Or,
wonderful knowing about all of you. While you can put your questions. Wonderful knowing about you, the aspirations, and I keep your aspirations high. Unless we keep the aspirations are our north star, but not acting against the aspirations is actually, I will say that, okay, it is procrastination or laziness. So we need to have a strong aspiration, and that's our north star. That should define our, our north star should define what initiatives we should take towards reaching there. But at the same time, we need to act. um, you know Acting is something which is under our influence. So if we, again, going back to Stephen Covey, what it says is that, uh, you know you need to focus about your area of circle of influence, and what is beyond your influence, don't bother about that. You cannot stop
Mhm.
the war between Russia and the Ukraine by bothering yours, because of that. No, it's a wastage of time. But what we can do is that how we strategize our decisions, no, investments, resources, keeping them, those are in our influence. So exactly, the career is in our influence. Being there, not being there, there, take the right steps, you will certainly will be there. Yeah.
Okay. We have
Yeah, so I
Sumisha.
think few questions are there. Thanks for the
Yep.
explanation. How much this course overlaps with an Ivy League MBA finance? So few questions are there, Suresh.
Yep. I will take that up. Sumesh, your question is on how much of this course overlaps with an Ivy League MBA finance, right? So, in terms of the program, an Ivy League MBA finance caters to a much more wider audience, or any MBA finance. Ivy League is purely the kind of brand and the association and experience that comes with it. But in terms of the program being an MBA in finance, it is widely an academic program, and like Dave said, there are a lot of case studies and focus on that, but it caters to a wide audience where there are people with 2 to 3 years of work experience to someone with 10, 15 years of experience, but it does not cater to a C-suite or builds a pathway for you to move towards the C-suite, right? So this is catered more to people who have a north star, like they mentioned, who has their goal focused towards a C-suite level, right? And yes, you will be taught by Wharton professors in this course. That's another question that we have. Um, you can read up on them. Dr. David Wessels and Rahul Kapoor and multiple other faculties are involved. They will be the ones visiting for the offline sessions as well. So, and they are full-time faculties, right, as well, at the Wharton University of Pennsylvania School. So they will be teaching you as well. Um, okay, I believe
What class schedules are like, and what will be taught by the Professor, I think
Yeah,
that's
that's, I believe, answered,
yeah.
and how much of this is also answered. The class schedule, so tentatively, the Wharton faculty live sessions would be on a Saturday morning since it's around Friday evening for them, right? And again, it should be most live interactions should be scheduled towards Saturday. But once you've released the schedule, we'll let you know if you're already accepted and have joined the program, you will be receiving the schedule. Um, any more questions? Swaminathan, thanks, Mr. Dave. That's to a positive push. Thank you. Okay. So to answer Sumesh's question, which is, do you also need to take a test at the end of the course to receive the certificate? No, there is no test. We are not like an academic institution deals with. We're not dealing with young professionals here. We're dealing with senior leaders. So there is no test or assessment at the end where you have to study for and so on. You'll be evaluated throughout. Dave Tripathi will also be evaluating your either assignments and your final capstone activity that you'll be doing. So there is no final test that you have. You'll have assessments or assignments that you'll be doing throughout the program.
Great. We are.
Okay, you're welcome, Sumesh. Glad to help you. So I believe we are past our time, and the next step again, you can start your application now, right? We have the QR code added so that it's easier for you to scan from your mobile phone, which will take you to the page, and you can start with your application there. We also have a deadline registration benefit, and we have our deadline coming in on the 26th, right? So you can avail that. It's a 20,000 tuition assistance as well. And if you do have any questions, we've given you the phone numbers that you can reach out to and the email address. So looking forward to have you all on board. Anything else, Dave, as we end the call?
I think no, good questions and quite no. I really felt that okay with all the participants till the end, it was really appreciated, and I really see that the seriousness in the participants to seriously evaluate something for their career. Really appreciate, and I'm personally excited. Actually, in this process, I'll be also learning along with you, so I'm excited. Looking.
Great, great. Thank you, Dave, for taking all the time to help us through this. So thank you everyone for joining in and taking out time on a Sunday. Thank you.